NorCal. 209 King of Comedy. It's Rick without the K. James presents, in my opinion, podcast.
The biggest debate that I hear out here is what's better, In-N-Out or Whataburger.
Look, here's what it comes down to. I eat both. The one thing I will immediately throw out if you gave me both meals, the one thing that I will throw out immediately,
French fries.
French fries on the fucking In-N-Out. French fries are like
the worst.
They are literally the worst. I don't know who is defending this shit, bro. And someone told me, no, ask for them to make it crispier. Right? Like, you can ask for it. I'm like, I shouldn't ask them to make it good. Like, no. By default, it's shit, bro. Right? And then, like, it's weird because whenever I tell people, like, Whataburger and one of my boys, DJ Sandu, he and I get into these huge fights. Like, we have taken over comedy shows just screaming at each other over which is better. Right? And most of the time, it comes down to, like, In-N-Out by itself, cool. It'll fit a fucking niche. You on Whataburger can eat Whataburger every fucking day, and it'll be something completely wildly
because
different.
There's so many things on the menu.
There's so many other things on there, right? Like
that lemon pie is the shit.
Lemon pie shit, dude. Fucking honey butter chicken biscuits. Even I'd never got chicken strips before. With white gravy, and then
I was trying to tell Kabir when we went down there, right? I was trying to tell him. I said, and hopefully I'm going to see it in your face when I say it. I said, look, the other reason that Whataburger is better, man, is that was the only reason I wanted to be on the honor roll growing up. Because they would give you a free fucking meal if you got on, and they would give you a free lemon pie. And then I would just be thinking, man, I can't wait to get that one free burger every 6 weeks or whatever.
That's why we got all like chubby. You didn't see a lot of skinny kids.
I just wanted to see your reaction because only people from El Paso, that area, I'm not sure if they do it anywhere else, but I know in El Paso they do that where you get your free meal and shit, and you're like, man, I couldn't wait for that. But what do you order at Whataburger? If you're taking someone there for the first time, what do you order?
You ready? I've got it memorized. Because I'm a drunk, right? I drink a lot, so I had to memorize it just to make sure I don't fuck it up, right? Triple meat, triple cheese, triple bacon, no onion, extra pickle, jalapeno, avocado, green chili if they have it. The fajita veggies onto it as well too.
God damn.
Yeah, no, go fucking crazy, bro. Spicy ketchup and then mustard.
That spicy ketchup is the shit. But I asked that question because I wanted to know, and I told everybody that dislikes Whataburger, I asked them that question. I said, what have you had at Whataburger? Well, I had just the Whataburger, and I said, well, that might be the issue. I said, first off, you do know El Paso is kind of connected to the Southwest. And I go, in the Southwest, while in Rome, you have to do as Romans do. Yep. What is the type of burger that we eat? And it's a green chili burger.
Yeah.
So, and I said, so you have to order the green chili on it. I said, if you don't, then you can't really compare it to shit because that's what makes it like, oh shit, that's, and sometimes, I don't know about you, but when I go, sometimes that green chili can be really bland. And then sometimes you're like, what the fuck is this? Is this habanero green chili or some shit?
I've talked about this before. Arizona Whataburgers are completely tasting different than when you start going into like border town, because like Whataburgers off of Laredo in South Texas, like McAllen, Brownsville, and everything, delicious, right? Amazing. Once I start going towards center Texas or even New Mexico and Arizona, just kind of partnering on that, they're good, but it's not like I could see where people would have that like.
You say that they're hotter when you.
I think they're hotter on borderlands. If you're riding the border. Right.
I wonder if there's any truth to that. We're gonna have to do some research on that shit.
Maybe it's just
because I'm trying to think. Because if when I go to El Paso, right, my cousin, the other thing that El Paso has that not another place that I've been to has is chorizo.
Yeah,
good chorizo. Like I grew up with Peyton's chorizo. I don't know if you grew up with that shit, but I will go home and bring home like 30 or 40 packages in an ice chest because that's the chorizo I'm eating and shit. Right. It's hella greasy. It's fattening as fuck, but that's obviously what makes it taste better, right? So I even wanted to start a food company out here, and I was trying to figure out how to get that chorizo shipped. And just to ship that chorizo, I would be paying almost $8 a package for. Yeah. So I was like, man, I can't be charging people fucking $20 for an egg and chorizo burrito. But I know that would separate my burrito from everybody else's.
It's true, because like I got into cooking during like quarantine and stuff, and I try to do a lot more spicier stuff. Everything that I cook is usually real spicy. And like at the places over there in Vegas, you know, we'll have like the chorizo, like they have the little tubes from like some place, right?
Yeah.
I won't find the little Peyton, the yellowback ones, you know? Yeah. Nothing like that.
You can't find it nowhere.
And those char up real fast. Like at least the other ones are so covered in grease that it doesn't immediately turn into crumble, you know?
And you know what's funny is it's harder to find it in El Paso now too lately. Like, luckily, my dad's a retired Navy officer, so they still sell it at the commissary. So, like, I'll call my parents before and be like, hey, Mom, I'm headed down. Can you guys start buying more packages and putting them away and freezing them for me or whatever? And then she'll do that. And, I mean, you could ask a beer on the way out when we left. I was like, hey, man, I got to stop and pick up a cooler full of shit. And it's normally a cooler of fucking Peyton's chorizo, and I'm taking Chico's tacos. And I say, so that's the other reason why I don't visit El Paso as much. Because once I figured out I can import my own fucking chorizo and Chico's, I don't have to be there. Because otherwise, I really don't like El Paso.
I'm going to say that about food, right? Let's go with the Chico's debate, right? Is that growing up, right? We always had Chico's. Like Chico's was our like Peter Pepper Pizza post game Friday, you know, right? We always ended up at Chico's Tacos pulling out from McCrae before it closed down, right? Okay. And used to go to that one all the time. Then after growing up and then drinking a lot, and then Chico's like started becoming more packed and was a lot more fights and a lot more, you know, a lot more bullshit. You ever been to Frisco's off of Yarbrough? So there's this lady, there's this small Asian lady in El Paso, Texas, right? Fuck, I can't remember her name. It's this small Asian lady who created this like 1950s diner, right? But they call things Frisco sticks, which are pretty much Chico's tacos, right? And
that's nice. The fact that she's Asian,
yeah, and because you're looking at burgers of like half slab of ham, and then this, and then you flip over the next page is all like and chicken lo mein, and you know, and then you flip it over the Frisco sticks, and you're like, and you know what's the crazy part about it? Not bad. They're really good. And I think that's what happened is that a lot of people were like, okay, once they started learning that they could make their own Chicos, right? And then Chicos started changing their shit, right? They don't do the paper bowls anymore. They do like the weird styrofoam ones, right?
Because it says Chicos on them or whatever. They're horrible. They don't even hold the juice anymore.
No. So like all of that shit just gets gross. And then they were doing, they changed the cheese, the government cheese that they used to put on that shit. That all changed. So then other people started imitating it and starting to do it better. Right, which became like a big hot topic, like debate when I was living there, like the last few years of just everybody fighting each other. Like, no, fuck you over here. This place has the best Chicos, and nobody was actually saying Chicos had the best Chicos. Right? It's so weird.
No, I will tell you this: we went there in March or whatever, and I had Chicos with Kabir. Him and Kim didn't like it. They wanted to pretend, well, it's all right. And then later on, they were like, yeah, that was kind of gross. And I was all, first off, I went and I picked it up and brought it back. You guys didn't reheat it. And I said, so you're not getting that fresh taste. And then when I made it at home for me and my kids, I think on Father's Day or some shit, oh, the shit was on point, bro. Yeah. Like, everything was steaming fucking hot. Their cheese now that they use takes twice as long to fucking melt, right? Yeah. So I don't need, but again, you have to have boiling hot fucking sauce. Yep. And to me, it's all about the sauce. You know, I have that same debate. My mom thinks, I can make better Chico's tacos than Chico's tacos because that was her first job, probably the one on McCrae, I think, right? So she thinks I can do this. And I'm like, Mom, you can't fucking, like, green enchiladas are bomb. Your apple pie is good, but your Chico's, no, they shit on you every time. So stop it. So there's things like that. I don't know if you've ever been to this one spot. I tell people, I always ask a question to a female if I start talking to them. Is I don't ever want to ask them what their favorite meal is, so I reword it, and I'm like, if you were on death row and you only had one fucking meal to eat, and it could be from anywhere, anyone that's any food, because it's your last goddamn meal, what would it be? And for me, I tell people, it's La Pila. Ooh. And if you've never been to La Pila, see, I take it you've been there.
Yeah, banderas are... Yeah.
I don't go to Juarez for anything else. So I try to get Kabir, but he thinks he's going to get raped. And I was like, they don't want Indian booty, stupid.
You're not that cute, bro.
Yeah. I said, Kim, on the other hand, she may get taken advantage of. But you...
So, okay, guaranteed the place I'm going to pick are definitely going to be from El Paso. El Paso food is next level. Really, really next level.
I will tell you the one thing after you mentioned. Go ahead.
So you brought me up with La Pila, and that definitely hits with me, right? I'm gonna go with the rich man blood, and then say cattleman's, cowboy steak, loaded up and everything, right? And then as dessert, I would actually cometa. Cometa.
That was the other place because my brother thinks Cometa is better than La Pila.
I think they're both the same, but it's just a time of the day for me.
And I think it's maybe because at La Pila you go and you get to see them cook the food.
Yeah.
You know that they're cooking it in lard. It's not even grease. It is literally lard. The dude that cooks the tacos doesn't give a shit that there's boiling grease. He touches it with his bare hand, picks it up, and fucking puts it on your plate and shit. And you're like, dude, do you know that grease is like 400? But he's been doing it so long, he's got calluses on his hand. Yep. He don't give a fuck. Like just an old-ass Mexican dude, right? Which is funny because my younger brother goes there. And we all love the food because we grew up there, right? Whenever my mom had to go visit family members or some shit, that would be the treat that we get for having to go over to Mexico, right? Because as kids, we fucking hated it going over there. Because again, I don't speak Spanish, so it was just like, we're going to Mexico. Like I don't even like Mexicans. I remember one time we were in Juarez and I was hanging out the window and I go, Mom, look at all these Mexicans, and she goes, you're a Mexican too. Now sit your ass down. So I didn't even know growing up, right? Because, again, I didn't speak Spanish, but she'd take us there. And I guess over through the years, my brother has loved it so much that he has his own. He stops. He brings sour cream with them because they don't have sour cream. Yeah. he gets, I guess they let you bring your own beer in, too. Oh. So... I don't know if you knew that. So that. He stops and gets his own fucking beer. Like I'm like, what are you doing? Like he's got a whole ritual of shit that he does. Wow. But that's my shit. I will say, I'm just glad that you know where that is or have had it because to me, hands down, best rolled tacos that I've fucking ever had. And I think it has partly to do with the avocado. The other thing that I can't get out in California that I tell people is gorditas. There is no such thing as a gordita in California. It is a fucking papusa. And I tell people, my ex-wife was El Salvadorian. I hate everything about them motherfuckers, all right? So, and their food is nasty. The only one El Salvadorian that I like is my cousin's wife. Chantel, you're cool. But everything else, I'm doing percentages and averages. It sucks. God damn it. So, gorditas. I did take Kabir. That was one of the first places we ate at. Was delicious. Right off of where the other Chico's is in that area. In the northeast or northeast central area, right? So, excuse me. But they love them. And
delicious. So, I don't know which one I talked. The one at the end of the that shopping center, right?
Yeah.
It's so. Here's the weird part. Like I said, there's nothing like that anywhere. On my Instagram, I had put up. Hey, I'm in Vegas. It's been my couple years that I've been here. If someone can point me at your best Mexican food, right? Just anything. And they started throwing out a lot of this like kitschy kind of like, oh, you got to go to this one Mexican restaurant inside the Cosmo or inside that. And I'm like, no, I need some place like a
hole in
little
the wall.
Shitty, you know? I need it to be a little shitty. And then they kept sending me to like Tacos El Gordo, and that's not bad.
Ugh. No, it's not good. You're talking about the one on the strip, right?
So
by the fucking
two.
Stratosphere.
Yeah,
oh, my friends took me there. And I told them, please don't ever fucking... That was the last place I'll let you take me anywhere.
I had the tripa, and then I remember there eating it.
And there's a line of people waiting for that nasty-ass food.
And I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess. Like, that's kind of what I felt at the end of it was like, I guess. I mean, this seems like somebody said, hey, this is how they do it somewhere else. You guys should do it like this. And then they did their best with it. you know. And to this day, nothing. I can't find fucking shit out nothing, right? It's really depressing whenever I get that little weird. I actually had to go visit my grandmother and for her 96th birthday, and I put out a phone recorder because she's real secretive about it, and I put out my phone, and then I asked her, like, give me your menudo recipe. Like, how do you make it? I know you start a day before you make it, and then she just started saying everything, and I just kind of keep pushing my phone. Like,
That's a smart idea. Yeah.
And the worst part about it is when I got home, and then all of the ingredients, they didn't fucking sell them in Vegas. So I'm like,
nice.
well, all right, this backfired on my ass. So,
Let me ask you this: salsa. Is there a difference? And have you noticed the difference in salsa?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the major difference for me, I tell people, is red versus green. I said in El Paso, the only thing that's red is the chili Colorado fucking sauce, right? The enchilada sauce, which is the same fucking sauce, right? But other than that, I don't remember growing up and seeing red salsa. And then I tell people the other big difference between green and red salsa is if you have a party in El Paso and you don't have chile con queso,
oh yeah,
you're not having a party.
Yeah,
and they don't give a fuck what it is. Like, people will get angry and mad at you. Like, you don't have tortilla chips and cheese? Like, you have to have that.
Do you remember, like, every kind of like get together barbecue or like someone's outside grilling, and then that was the first thing they served you? Like, to this day, whenever I go to Thanksgiving, my grandma's right, they'll have the ham, they'll have the stuffing, they'll have everything else, but then they'll have like the crock pot full of queso, right? And then like, okay, here's the chips, all right, eat that first, and then you can eat the rest of the shit. We still do that every year, right? Whenever I go out and visit, it's at Christmas, same thing. There's always tostadas
And the funny thing is did you realize that before you left El Paso? Because I don't think people, the reason I bring it up is I don't think people realize it until you move out of that area. And then you're like, wait, we don't do chips and cheese all the time? Like, because I know when I went back for those 5 months, I had a few times that we got together. And then I was like, nah, man, we're going to have, I'm making some barbecue and I've got some tri-tip. I brought it from Cali or this or that. And one, they don't really like tri-tip down there. And they'd rather have a brisket and shit, right? So, but I remember one time we had a party and like people ended up leaving because there was no queso. And I was like, dude, I never said, well, then this ain't a party. And I'm like, then just leave, bro. Yeah. Like, if that's going to end our friendship, then get the fuck out of my house. Like... Not every party needs fucking chips and cheese, goddammit.
There have been fights. I remember there was like a few months that my mom and my grandmother didn't talk because they both like were like, oh, you're supposed to bring the queso or whatever, right? And then my grandmother decided that she was gonna do it, but she made it way too spicy for anybody to eat, right? So people were like trying to, right? And they're like, nah, I fucking can't do it. Like, this is our threshold, right? And then I remember my mom being like, she made it too goddamn spicy, and now we just can't eat nothing, right? Yeah. And then they just fought the entire time, and then they didn't talk for like months. And over what? Just too spicy queso. The Mexican petty is a different kind of petty, right? It's a different level petty.
It's just, to me, it's one of those things where, like I said, that's what I was going to say. Not only do you have the chips and cheese, but I feel like it's also when you go from like family member to family member or friend to friend, it's who can do it better. Who's got the better queso at their house? And you're like, really? Like, well, mijo, what I do in mine is, and you're like, it's just cheese and milk. Like,
yeah. Like, when my parents split, when they divorced when I was like 17, right? So they wound up having 2 holidays now, right? And I'm old enough where I'm able to talk shit, and say shit. But it would be like, okay, I know I can't fill up, at my dad's side, right, with his queso and all his stuff. And then I also have to prepare because on my mom's side, they put like ground beef inside the queso too, right? It's like, it's 2 separate things. It's either I'm going to do nothing but cheese, or this is going to be like a chile con queso with like, actual ground beef inside of it too. And it was always weird because I had a favorite and I couldn't let anybody else know that, They'd be like, I'd sit
Not a
there.
favorite, but no,
I'd put like a little bit of the ground beef one. And I'd be like, yeah, okay. And they're like, why aren't you eating it? I'm like, it's because I'm full. It's because you like your mom's better, huh? Is that what it is? You know what? This stupid bitch. That's what we brought.
Boy, Charlie Murphy, my main man, Ric James. That's the one you think, the comedian Ric James. Get up.
I can't hear my neighbor crying. I can't breathe.
Please hit the subscribe button down low so you can see all new clips, all new episodes coming to you.